What's going on, people? Welcome back to AFTV. Now, I thought I'd do a video on when I went to the London Colney and met Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Insert Josh screaming, "Nobody cares, Cecil," right now, as normally wouldn't even shout that. But I think it's the right time to talk about it. There's nothing serious in it, but I glossed over it. When the photos got released, it was on AFTV socials. If you haven't seen them, I also posted on my socials. Me being asked to body double for him was a massive moment for me, and I want to talk about kind of how things happened, what body doubling is, and you know, me meeting our captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So I want to start with, obviously, what is body doubling? I think this is the main question I get when just speaking to people in general, and I thought at first body doubling was, I don't know, I had to, my first call was to do Dele Alli, which cancelled, thankfully. Thankfully, that never actually went through, but that was my first call for do body doubling, and I thought it was something where you dress up as the player, you have to put on an accent and pretend to be the player, sign signatures and give them out, all incognito. That was what I thought body doubling was, but it's far from that. So as you guys, some of you may know, some of you may not, I've been body doubling now for 6 years for the top athletes, top strikers actually in the Premier League. My main double is Marcus Rashford. Like I said, I've been doing it for 6 years since he broke through. And yeah, it's what it is all the advert campaigns you see on social media, on TV, more time it's me. 80% of the shoots that we do, it's all myself, my body, and then about 20% is the footballer. So that's kind of a background of what body doubling is. It's just more, yeah, it's me pretending to be the athlete, as some of you may not know as well, that when players sign at the top clubs, they sign a contract, they have a certain amount of hours for commercial work for the club. So any of the club's big sponsors or brands that they're associated with, they have to do advertisement for them, but they're only allowed a set amount of hours. So say Rashford signed a big contract, he's only allowed to do like an hour per brand, hour on set. So when they come into the studio, I'll be there all morning doing all the choreography. They will come in for an hour. It's very time strained. Like there's a woman or a man there normally keeping an eye on the clock to say you have this long with this person, this long with that person. And it's very to the wire when it comes to timing. Maximum is an hour normally. And yeah, and they do an hour, they get all their face shots in, and then I will carry on throughout the rest of the evening and the day doing all the body shots, the tricks, the choreography. So you need to have a level of skill obviously to be a body double, but that is kind of the basis of that. And when I got the call to do Aubameyang, it was very kept secret for a while. Maybe because of the position I'm in, being at AFTV. I think they didn't want to release the news too early to me, obviously, because I could have ran on stream and spoke about it, which I never would have done. But they were obviously holding it back. But the shoot was on 14th of September. So you may have seen the post, I think maybe 2.5 months later. So around that time as well, Arsenal they just beat Norwich 1-0, and in my honest opinion, I was very honest with the studio of Robbie and the people behind the scenes saying Aubameyang for me wasn't firing. I thought the goal that he scored at Norwich was not, I don't want to say lucky, because you make your luck as a striker, but it wasn't like a classic Aubameyang goal. So I was being critical and hoping that he would return back to firing form, which he's currently in right now. Being an international break, he's been on great form. So it was weird when I got the text say you're going to be doubling Aubameyang. I was excited, nervous, and if I'm completely honest, I don't normally get like this because I work with footballers all the time. Like I said, I've been with Rashford and other top players for many years, but because it's someone close to me, someone I admire, Aubameyang, he's a man of the people as well, especially when it comes to fans. I was very nervous, and I've never worked with Arsenal. I've always worked with other clubs when it comes to body doubling. I've been invited to loads of events and worked with players, but Aubameyang was a first. So again, like I said, it was a bit unnatural for me. And I remember the night before when I got the message to say I was doing Aubameyang, I remember messaging him and saying, "Oh, I'm body doubling you tomorrow," and he replied, and that first of all just blew my mind. He replied and said, "I look forward to seeing you, my G." And I was like, oh my God, he's responded. This is incredible. Really didn't expect him to even see the message, but he did. And then we go to the shoot day, and it was phenomenal. Obviously, I'm not going to mention a brand because obviously I don't want to mention a brand now, but you can probably see from what we're wearing and you can kind of get an idea of what brand it was for. But I went down to London Colney, incredible day, got dressed up as Aubameyang. There was photos on the board of the person I was doubling. I got into the training kit. I had the 14 on me, which It was incredible. It was incredible. I think body doubling is one of my favourite things I get to do alongside obviously AFTV and presenting, but it really takes me back to when I was playing, and it's just amazing. Just being in the players' kits, meeting them, understanding, speaking with them, understand what they've done throughout the day and whatnot. So yeah, it was amazing. We got dressed up, we went down to London Colney. It was very, not secretive, but it was quite reserved in the sense of they were being very protective. Obviously there was COVID times, high risk, obviously it's Premier League club, big club like Arsenal, they don't want to risk anyone getting injured or getting sick from outside people coming in. But we got put in the dome, and we got put in the dome for a lot of the day down at London Colney. And I remember Josh Kroenke saying that they've improved the training facilities and they put money into youth, which they have, but they said that mainly I'm going to hone in on the training facilities. Yes, as you'll see from some of the videos, they were incredible, the pitches, but I'm going to be honest, the dome needs a bit of work, but I think it's an old dome. There was some leaks, but it was a very, very, very wet and rainy day on the shoot. Probably one of the worst rainy days on the shoot. But yeah, it was very wet. There was drips coming through, but that didn't spoil my experience. That didn't spoil the time when I was down there. I got to see the under-23s come in and use the dome. They used the gym in the dome. Saw Mari Hutchison, Charlie Patino, Rekic was there as well. And it seemed like I know they do watch the channel, but they seemed like they recognised me when I was doing shots for Aubameyang. I was doing basically the standing in photo shots, so all the stills. So I got to do that for him, and they were looking over because they were literally there. So when I'm there, they were literally to the right of me, which was surreal in a sense, because I've watched them in the academies, I've watched them in the under-23s games, and a lot of the players that are in the under-23s that were training next to me, I know are going to be future stars at Arsenal. So that was a very warming moment to see as well, and them looking over with myself and some of the other doubles that were in the dome. It kind of picked up after that. We got asked to go onto the training ground pitch where we was doing the filming, and I got to basically double Aubameyang, stand on the training ground, have another player, Emile Smith-Rowe's double, surprisingly, put in one of the chips which we was using for the shoot, and did some of that. I did some shooting as well. The facilities at London Colney, if you don't know, are actually incredible. The grass is just like, it's beautiful. And I played on amazing pitches, but that training ground replicates Emirates, and everyone always talks about how amazing Emirates is and how like every blade is just level. It felt like that at London Colney. Unbelievable, literally unbelievable grounds, unbelievable facilities when it came to the pitches. I had a little sneak walk around. Don't know if I should admit that. I had a little sneak walk around and I had a little look at some of the other pitches. And again, the standards were so high, and it was just lovely to be in. There was a golden cannon as well that was tucked away, which was really nice. Featured some water features. It was just really nice. It was nice to be there. I really, really, really couldn't believe it. But now getting to the main bit of the day was when Aubameyang. And it was Aubameyang, Saka, and I think it was Lacazette or Emile Smith-Rowe. They were inside the dome. We were waiting outside in the minibus while they were doing a big scene. They were doing a big scene about talking who's the fastest, who's the strongest, who covers the most length on the pitch. They were tucked away in the dome and we were outside. And I was like, I want to go in. Obviously, if you take your mind back as well, I sent a message to Aubameyang prior to the shoot as well. So I wanted to kind of at least show him that I was here. After I said I'm going to be there tomorrow, I wanted to just let him know that I'll be there and see him personally. I mean, he's my captain. I don't think I'd ever be that close to Aubameyang. So I thought, let's go into the dome, which out of initiative, I just thought I'm going to go do it. I know when I body double for Rashford, and I've been doing a lot of players in the past, I'm now one of Rashford's personal body doubles that has to make him feel comfortable and welcome when he comes in. I sit with him, I talk with him, I ask him how his week's been, and we catch up, which sounds crazy, but that's what I got to do. But because Aubameyang was my first time being his double, I think the company felt reserved to let me be as close to the double. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go in. So I got out the minibus, I walked to the edge of the dome, and then I looked around the corner and I could see them sitting down doing the scene, and I was like, wow, this is it. This is it, like this is where I'm probably gonna get to meet Aubameyang. I went into the dome and I sat down on the opposite end. They were finishing off their big scene. Whilst they were finishing off, I was just watching and what was going on. Saka was also not too far away from me, he could see me as well. Emile Smith-Rowe was offset, looking over to us. And they finished, they wrapped on that scene. And then all of a sudden, Aubameyang goes, Cecil, my G. And it went silent. The whole of production everyone, even I came in with some of the doubles as well. They like looked at me, production looked like this, I looked like this, and it was just a surreal moment of, oh my God, which I know, do you know what, I'm laughing because I've been like, football, being around footballers for me is such a normal thing, but again, like this is our captain, this is someone who I admire, wearing the 14 shirt Arsenal means, you guys know my life, he's on my top, both of them, Pierre and Thierry, that's how much they mean to me. But when he called my name and then stood up and started walking towards me, I was like, oh shit, here we go. And I got up. Production, I think, were a bit shocked. I don't think they were ready for it. So we walked over and he greeted me. He said, how are you? We spoke about Robbie, we spoke about Troops, we spoke about me being at the next game, which was Burnley, and I'll see you there. I said thank you, because I asked for a photo. He's, with open arms, said 100%, let's do a photo. And then I said thank you just from behalf of me and the fans as well, because my goal here is to bring the players and fans closer. That is my main goal at AFTV. I think it's only right that we should have a relationship. Obviously not too close, because I understand there's privacy things involved, but we should have a relationship with the players, a closer one in my opinion. So I think you're starting to see that with the likes of Ramsdale, Saka's, Emile Smith-Rowe's and Aubameyangs, and I think he's the one to bridge that gap. And it felt really nice. So I said thank you, we had a little catch up, and then we parted ways. And then after that, that was it. It kind of made the rest of my day. And not too long after that was the game where Aubameyang drove out in his Lamborghini and everyone was jumping in his car, and you'll see the video of me pulling people off because I just felt that's not needed. Obviously get close, get your photos, support the guy, but jumping on his car, you can see me pulling players off. And he messaged me after that. He responded to one of my messages after that for doing that. But yeah, I just thought now's the time to kind of release what happened. But that was it when I met Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Thanks for watching this video, and do hit a like if you learned anything or you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time on AFTV. Peace.